Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Dr. Javed Iqbal Khokar, Professor of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology. Welcome to the Department of Forensic Medicine. And we'll have an introduction to the subject of forensic medicine. Forensic medicine and toxicology. What do you understand by the term forensic medicine? Basically, it is, when we say in our language Urdu, it is Tibb-e-Shari. Tibb is medicine and Shara is law. So forensic medicine is Tibb-e-Shari. And what do you understand by the term? Please scan this barcode, QR code, and reply your answer in the chat box. Now, when we elaborate the word, as I have told you, the forensic medicine is Tibb-e-Shari, and it is also called as medical jurisprudence, which means Tibb or Qanun, and legal medicine, that is also Tibb or Qanun ka ilm. So it is an interrelated relationship of medicine and law. We must have a knowledge of law which is pertaining to us, which is related with us, and application of medical knowledge in terms of law means forensic medicine. So forensic medicine has got two aspects. One is the legal aspect of medicine, that we conduct medically, whether we are surgeon or physician or gynecologist, but we are governed under certain laws. And that is the legal aspect of medicine. Our conduct by taking the consent, by any breach of contact, any professional misconduct, any negligence. So all we are held under legal framework. Then also we have a statute laws like PMDC, Pakistan Medical and Dental Council. We must get registered, and without registration we cannot practice. So this is the legal aspect of medicine. Then the medical aspect of law means where the law needs the help of medical men, because they are not the doctors. When they receive the case of any assault, physical assault, sexual assault, or poisoning, or in case of death, when for autopsy, they will refer the case to the medical man. And medical man, by applying his medical knowledge, will determine, with the application of the knowledge of anatomy, whether the physical assault and the structural damage has been done. He will then report the case according to the demand of the law, and then report back, and upon his finding, because he is the technical expert, and upon his finding the court will award the punishment or whatever the law will allow. So forensic medicine conducts for the purpose of law, and this is basically for the administration of justice and betterment of the society, because we know that justice is the base of a better and peaceful society, and forensic medicine basically finds the fact. Fact is an evidence which you perceive with your own senses, and these facts are the truths which is to be presented in the court of law. So forensic medicine stands with the truth, mean that we find out the facts, the findings, and that is the truth, the evidence, the fact which we perceive with our senses, and that is the evidence. So this fact, being the truth, when is presented in the court of law, becomes an evidence. So forensic medicine is said as a unique and different. Why it is unique? Because it is a state subject. We give service to the state not only in the living but also in the dead. Then it's a different and difficult. So because the perception of the finding, its interpretation, and then presentation in the court of law is almost a different task. So it becomes difficult and different when you apply your knowledge for the purpose of law. So your experience will help you, and your teachers, because they are the best guiders, and they will guide how you should apply your knowledge for the purpose of law. So this subject provides services not only to the living but also to dead, as I have told you earlier. On the living, whether the case is of physical assault, sexual assault, and poisoning. And on dead, for autopsy, to find the cause of death, to find the weapon, to find the nature of injury. So all the objectives which are related to that particular case, you have to find out. Then embalming. Sometimes the body has to preserve for transportation by air or by railway. So that will be embalmed. Embalming solution, a chemical solution is injected into the body through vein, and body gets embalmed, preserved. So the embalming is another service to the dead. And similarly, preservation, that means the person had died, the relatives are abroad. They have to come, and the body has to wait for its burial. So the relatives request the Department of Forensic Medicine. All the Department of Forensic Medicine or are offering this service of preservation. So relative request to the department, and they pay the government fee, and the body gets reserved as many days as the relatives require. So besides its medical duties, the medical officer has to perform its legal duties also. And even on the first day of appointment, he has to perform the medical legal work. So that's why we stress to the students, because you will only come across to forensic medicine in third year. Rest of the sciences, the medicine and the surgery, you will go on studying and practicing after your graduation. But the forensic medicine, you will gather the knowledge only in third year. So basic knowledge you must get, so that when you get the employment and on the first day of duty, you can receive a medical legal case. And the fact is that you cannot delay it, you cannot postpone it, and you cannot refuse it. That's why it is important for the medical student to understand forensic medicine, because then there will be nobody to guide you. You are the doctor, you are the in charge, and you have to conduct it. Similarly, the certification is the prerogative of the authorized medical officer. And when the doctor gets registered with PMDC, that is the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, and this registration gives the privilege of certification. All types of certification, it is the prerogative of the medical officer. So all types of certification, whether it is pertaining to the civil matter or the criminal offences. In civil matter, for example, if there is a case of nullity of marriage upon non-consumption, then there are two types of situation. Male is put an allegation for impotency, then onus of proof will be on the male. In civil cases, the defense, the proof, responsibility of proof lies on the shoulder on which the allegation is made. So if male are made the allegation of impotency, then it is the male who has to prove that he is potent or not potent. Then female, if the allegation is female suffering from, for example, one of the disease vaginismus, then female has to prove that she is not suffering from such a disease. So onus of proof will keep on shifting upon the allegations in the civil matter. Similarly, the matter of age certification in marriage and employment, property rights, driving license, fitness certificates, these are various types of certificates which the medical officer has to issue. Likewise, the criminal offences like sexual assault, the capital punishment for murder, and plea of insanity. So these are various situations. When capital punishment, it cannot be awarded to the adults. So age, if the child it is child, the age has to be determined whether he is an adult or a child. Similarly, sometimes the plea of insanity is taken that this crime is being done when the person is not in the soundness of mind. So this plea of insanity, then sanity has to be determined by the doctor whether the person is sane or insane. Because the criminal responsibility is the most important job. You cannot award the responsibility of a crime unless the person is adult enough to understand the nature of act, and secondly he is of sound mind. So these are the basic conditions where the criminal responsibility is fixed. These are few examples where the state needs the help of medical man. So an authorized medical officer, besides his medical duties, has to perform the state duties. So that's why this subject is unique and different. The medical legal system which are prevalent in the world, there are three systems. The medical examiner system, you must have seen also in the medical examiner file. This system is prevalent in USA. There are area medical examiner, and every assault, every case is reported to them, and they are going to investigate, and they are going to order for the autopsy, and if they are sometime themselves they are doctor, they can conduct autopsy themselves. Then there is coroner system which is prevalent in the UK and some other countries. Like magistrate in our country, there are area coroners, and whenever there is death occur, it is reported to the coroner, and he can order the investigation and further uh, duties in this regard. Then continental system, this is prevalent in Europe. There are two systems, the legal part and the medical part. Both are conducting under the supervision of the in charge of that area. And the legal part is covering the legal investigation, and the medical part is doing the medical job. So you can see in every system there is involvement of medical man or a doctor. And basically, the death investigation or any medical legal investigation is a teamwork where there is police investigation, the crime scene investigation by the forensic sciences, and the medical part of the doctor. So it's a teamwork. But the medical legal system of investigation in Pakistan, it is said as that is modified continental, because it is not supervised by one man having two parts, medical and legal parts. Both the legal and the medical, they are working independently. The police is doing his job independently. Likewise, the doctor is doing his job independently. The police request the medical officer to determine about the assault. So it is a modified continental system. Then the subject spreads to almost every branch of medicine, and it is not confined to criminal matters only, which means that the further fields are also involved, like forensic odontology, forensic anatomy, forensic radiology, forensic ballistics, forensic psychology, forensic serology, forensic toxicology, crime scene investigation, DNA profiling. They all are related to the forensic medicine and investigating matters. So they have to be recognized as a specialty. These are the part and parcel of the forensic medicine and investigation. And when I talk about the spheres, it spread through almost all the branch of medicine. We are conducting as a surgeon, as a physician, as a gynecologist, whenever we receive a case of medical legal importance, or whenever anything happens which is regarded as professional misconduct or negligence, then the forensic medicine plays its role. So the crime scene investigation is most important because we have to reconstruct the incident. They rehearse and reconstruct the incident, how it could have happened. Then the medical legal investigation is done, and they are looking for the trace evidence. Any trace, any tiny material, biological or non-biological, which is left over at the scene of crime, helps in identity of that trace which belongs to either the assailant or the victim, because this trace evidence is contact trace evidence. Every contact leaves a trace, and it is a two-way process, from the assailant to the victim, from the victim to the assailant, and from both of them to the environment, and from environment to the both assailant and victim. So this trace will establish the identity, its identity, which will be actually the identity of that person which is involved in the case, being the assailant or the victim. And we have to establish corpus delicti, which is the body of the crime. It is not only the physical body of the deceased, but it is also the body of the investigation. So all this makes the body of the crime. It is necessary because you have to fix the criminal responsibility. That means the crime has occurred, and that person which is identified beyond doubt, that is responsible for this particular act, and it should be proved beyond doubt. That is corpus delicti, the body of the crime. So with few hours of the medical legal training during MBBS in third year, it is expected from the medical officer to, why I said it difficult, because it is expected to identify, certify and testify his observations to the satisfaction of the law enforcement agencies and for the courts for the justifiable execution of the administration of justice. Regarding the introduction of the department, this is the flow chart of the diagram of the department, and there is a teaching faculty, the associate professor, the assistant professor and demonstrator. That's a teamwork which is involved in the large group discussions, small group discussions, in the lab, in the tutorials, in the museum. So there is teaching faculty and paramedical staff. Paramedical staff always helps the faculty and the students in their training in the laboratory and the museum. Regarding the organogram, there is head of department, PE and his attendants, associate professor and assistant professor, and under associate professor there are demonstrators, and under assistant professor there is senior lab technician, lab assistant and lab attendants, and museum keeper and museum attendant. So the teaching faculty, I have told you, it is the involved in teaching, and the paramedical staff help the faculty. Then what are the learning methodologies which we are adopting for the teaching to the students? There are interactive lectures, which is a large group discussion in the lecture halls, and case-based learning also. A particular case is discussed and all the scenarios related with are understood. Then role play by the students. Student particular case they present, and they with the role play they make it understand to the other students. Then there are small group discussion. Every small group demonstration is in small group, and it is easier to convey the subject. Then there is practical demonstration in the labs, and there is a museum where are the models and the duraprints and the x-rays and the bones which are studied by the student. The teacher and the paramedical staff help the student. These are various equipment like the firearms and the other instruments which are to be understood by the student. Then we have also the field visits. We take the student for a autopsy visit to the autopsy lab in Allama Iqbal Medical College or King Edward Medical University. This is the autopsy lab. And this is a group photo of the student visiting the autopsy lab. Then we also visit the Punjab Forensic Science Lab. And this is the picture with the student. Now, basically, the key to learn is that you should uh, follow the instructions of your teachers, because teachers have lot of practical experience of your life, and they studied many books, and they are delivering lectures upon their practical and theoretical knowledge, and you should concentrate upon the talks with the teachers. So the key to learn is the mutual trust, understanding, and discipline. And regarding this discipline, this is the uh, diagrammatic representation. You can see when the glasses are in queue, they are in order, then they are receptacle for receiving the water from the jug, and it in organized manner it can be. But if they are disorganized, they are not in queue, they are lying here and there, the knowledge cannot be imparted in a schematic way. So this is the discipline. Then the discipline, which is by default, that mutual respect, respect your seniors, respect your teachers and paramedic staff, wear white coat and identification tie, and bring your practical manual when you come to the lab. Then discipline, which is statuted by the university, internal assessment by attendance, class evaluation, conduct practical manual and clinical work. Similarly, the pattern of internal assessment is given by the NUMS, and we determine that. Then there is a examination pattern which has been conveyed by the university, how many questions and how it will be taken out, how many marks. And this is the scheme of the internal assessment, how it is taken. Similarly, theory and practical both are taken as internal assessment. The recommended books, the textbook which is by late Professor Nasib Rahman, is the excellent book for practical purposes, and the Parekh book of text medicine is an Indian author, but it's a good book. Similarly, PC Dixit is an Indian, it's a good book also, you can study that. And for further contact, you can contact me on, this is my cell number and this is my email address, and this is my another YouTube channel. You can watch my videos on different topics, and they are multiple times have been delivered. And you can scan this code, and this will take you to YouTube. Thank you very much. Take care and Allah Hafiz.